What's going on, everyone? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. So today I'm going to be doing a video that's slightly a little bit different from my usual content just because there's a lot going on in the new year with just a week into 2021. If you thought 2020 was crazy, and 2020 to me felt like probably the longest but shortest year ever, just because I've been working from home, I've been making YouTube videos, and that's pretty much it. I'm totally kidding, I was doing a lot more than that, but basically I would be making YouTube videos about personal finance, investing, or anything that I think would be helpful for my viewers. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Ver, and if you're into that, consider subscribing to the channel. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about what has happened just in the first week of 2021. If you're familiar with boxing, boxing usually has multiple rounds in a match, and basically 2021 is kind of like round 2 of 2020. Just in the first week of 2021, DC is in chaos. Elon Musk just passed Jeff Bezos as the richest man in the world. Bitcoin just hit $40,000 per coin. Since I do talk about personal finance, investing, and wealth building on my channel, these topics are not closely related, but they may affect how this year pans out in terms of your wealth. Without getting too political, basically what's happening in the month of January is there is going to be a transition of power from President Trump to President-elect Joe Biden. The attendees of that Save America March quickly turned grim when all of the protesters marched onto the Capitol trying to breach it, and they ultimately did, getting into the building, having everyone in that building around Congress, the House of Representatives, the Senate. Everyone was basically locked down and taking stronghold within the building. There was broken glass, there were people climbing walls, there was unfortunately a lot of people who got arrested, and 4 people lost their lives that day. This consequently put a delay on the Electoral College count, which happened to resume in the middle of the night after protesters basically left the scene. And then all around DC, there was a curfew set by the mayor. So basically, Washington, DC is a very sensitive area of the country right now. I think the last time something like this happened wasn't since the 1800s. I believe it was in 1814 in the midst of a war in the country. So something like this not happening for 2 centuries is pretty crazy. But like I said, there are multiple things happening just in the first week, and with that out of the way, the second thing was Elon Musk just passed Jeff Bezos as the richest man in the world. Just one day after those protests on January 7th, Elon Musk of SpaceX and Tesla overtook Jeff Bezos of Amazon as the richest person in the world when Tesla bounced 7% in share price, over $800 per share, bringing his net worth to over $184 billion. Crazy thing is, this is Elon Musk. He has SpaceX, he has Tesla, he has the Boring Company. So basically, this guy has a lot of money. And if you're familiar with this TikTok trend that happened just a few months ago last year, there was this guy who took a grain of rice and compared that to $100,000.
The scale of $1 billion is really crazy. So let's say 1 grain of rice is equivalent to 100K.
And then he went to Costco and counted basically a bunch of grains of rice and just displayed this pile, this visualization of Jeff Bezos' wealth.
I'm gonna put a keyboard in just for fun. Look how deep that goes. That's insane.
This is Jeff Bezos' new house that's $145 million in LA. And then, oh my God.
So now take that pile of rice and then add a couple handfuls of rice to it, and that is now Elon Musk's net worth. But what if instead of $100,000, each one of those grains of rice was worth $40,000? On to the next topic, we now have cryptocurrency on the map, where Bitcoin literally just hit $40,000. At the time of this video, it's probably at $41,000, or it might be at $7,000. We don't know, but at the end of the day, the crazy thing is it hit an all-time high. The last time it was at an all-time high was in 2017, just over 3 years ago, when it almost hit $20,000. The difference between then and now is a lot of the hype that was in 2017 was a lot of market manipulation. There were people getting into cryptocurrency investing and then going into altcoins. Me, myself, I lost a few $1,000s on that craze. But then now, with the wider spread of adoption, you now have institutions, organizations, corporations investing in Bitcoin because they probably understand it a little bit more. That is causing the surge in this price. But with anything that surges in price, there's other things that can happen, like inflation. Obviously, the cost of 1 Bitcoin now is a lot more than then, but that means there's just a lot more money in it versus than before. There was this really cool podcast episode that I watched very recently. It was just yesterday on Impulsive. If you're familiar with Logan Paul and his group of co-hosts, He had a guest named Andre Jick on his channel who is also a personal finance YouTuber. I watch a lot of him, so check that out. It's on YouTube, just search him up. He talks about Bitcoin, he talks about the Dyson sphere, like the vacuum, all entertaining stuff, and it's really interesting, so check that out. I'll post a link in the description below. With all that said, this is just a short snippet of what is going on just in the first week of 2021. It's not my usual content because I like to bring you content where you could learn from it and go to work with it, but I just thought this video is very important, and it was brought to you by Millennial Investments. If you're not familiar already, there's a link in the description below to Millennial Investments where you can find a website with curated articles about personal finance, investing, wealth building, life hacks, real estate investing, and also one of my really good friends on there, Todd Baldwin, is the ultimate secret shopper. So if you want to get into that, check that out, link in the description below. So with that said, thanks so much again for watching the video. If you haven't already done so, obliterate the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell so you know the next time I post a video on my channel. It really helps the channel out. If you want this information to reach people that aren't subscribed to the channel, doing that will help my channel out. You can find me on Instagram. Here's my handle. I posted there. If you want to message me, if you also want to comment your thoughts on these topics in the comments below, go ahead and do that. Again, thanks so much for watching the video. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks for watching, and let's get to work.